Welcome back. Today we will discuss about cache memory mapping techniques. As in the last lecture we have seen what is a cache memory and what are the different features of cache memory and what is the necessity of cache memory in the computer system. So today what we are going to see is about the cache memory mapping techniques, another very important topic, examination point of view also. So there are three types of mapping procedures or mapping techniques: associative mapping, direct mapping, sub-associative mapping. So here what are we actually discussing? What are these mapping techniques? It is nothing but, as we have seen in the last class, that if the CPU is asking for any data, it is something which will be searched in the cache memory. It is searched in the cache memory, right? So from the main memory, that particular data is being brought to the cache memory, and from cache memory to the CPU. So this is what we have, what actually happens in the computer system. So when the data is moved from the main memory to the cache memory, actually how that data and the address is being mapped into the cache memory, because the data is present in the memory with respect to the address and data. So CPU will ask an address, so that address is something which is searched in the cache memory. If it is found, then we are giving back to the CPU, and if it is not found, then we are searching it in main memory, and from main memory we are getting that data to cache memory, and from cache memory we are giving it to the CPU. So when the data is moved from the main memory to the cache memory, how is that address and data are being placed in the cache memory is what is this mapping techniques all about. So as we have already seen, there are three methods. Among them, the first method is called associative mapping. So this associative mapping, it is the fastest and most flexible cache memory. It stores both the address and content of the memory word. Content is nothing but the data. So it stores both the address and the data of the memory word. So the address is 15 bits. So the size of the address is 15 bits and the data is 12 bits. So the CPU address is placed in an argument register, and associative memory is searched for a match. So I'll tell you what actually this as associative mapping is. For example, this is how it looks like. So as you can see, this is the cache memory. Okay, so the construction of this cache memory is used in the construction of the cache memory. We have used associative memory. Okay, so we have an associative memory where in that memory the data is searched with respect to the address address, and then the data is being retrieved. Okay, so if you look at this, as you can see in this associative mapping, the cache memory is being stored with the address and data pairs. Okay, address and data pairs. So when CPU raises any address, okay, if the CPU is asking any address, that address is of 15 bits. So this address is being placed in a register called the argument register. Okay, so there is a register called argument register which is used to store the CPU address, which is of 15 bits. So this address has been stored in this argument register. Now this argument register is being searched in this address section. Okay, so if we found any match, that is this argument register's CPU address and the address which is already present in the cache memory, if it is a match, then the corresponding data is something which is sent to the CPU for processing. So that is what is associative mapping. Okay, so in associative mapping we have an argument register. This register is something which stores the CPU address. So this address is searched in this cache memory. Okay, so if the address is being found in this in the address of the cache, then the corresponding or the respective data is something which has been sent to the CPU for the processing purpose. So this is what is associative mapping. Okay, so let us move to the next type of mapping, which is a direct mapping. Okay, so this associative mapping is something which has a drawback. Okay, what is the drawback is it is very expensive when compared to the normal catch. When compared to the other logics, this type of associative mapping is very expensive. Okay, so to overcome that, we are going for the next type of mapping, which is called direct mapping. Okay, now what is happening in this direct mapping? Okay, so in this direct mapping, the cache memory is being built with the ability of the random access memory. Okay, so what I am actually trying to say here is, I am saying that in associative mapping, the cache memory, whatever is there, has the feature of associative memory. In direct mapping, cache memory has the feature of RAM, like how our normal main memory is, how generally our main memory is. In the same way, the cache memory is also built. But whereas in the associative memory, this cache memory is something which is built with the characteristic of an associative memory. This is another type of memory which is different from this RAM. Okay, so so what is happening here is, so in this direct mapping, what is happening is the 15-bit CPU address, whatever is being used by the CPU, that is being divided here. Okay, in direct mapping, the CPU address, 15-bit address, is being divided into two fields. So the first field is called tag and the second field is called index. Tag and index. Okay, so tag is something which is of 6 bits, but whereas our index is of 9 bits. Okay, so if you look at here, so this is something which is of complete 15 bits, 15-bit CPU address. So this 15-bit CPU address, the least significant 9 bits are something which are called as index, and the most significant 6 bits are called as tag. Okay, now if you look at the main memory, so this is the complete address. For example, we have taken these addresses here. Okay, so if you look at here, this is the complete